Time doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It doesn't pause when you're tired, confused, or lost. Every second you waste is a piece of your life you'll never get back. And the cruelest part? You don't even realize it's slipping away until it's already gone. There was a man once. His name was Daniel, 37 years old. Average job, average life, average dreams that he kept telling himself he'd chase someday. He woke up every morning to the same alarm, dragged himself through the same routine, and collapsed into bed every night telling himself, "Tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow became next week became next month, and the years, they just vanished like smoke. Daniel wasn't lazy. He wasn't stupid. He was just comfortable. Comfortable in his mediocrity, comfortable in his excuses. He had dreams once, big ones. He wanted to write a book. He wanted to build something meaningful. He wanted to travel, to create, to leave a mark on this world. But every time that voice inside him whispered, "Do it now," another voice, louder and more convincing, would say, "You have time. Relax. Enjoy yourself. Life is short. Don't stress." And so he scrolled. Hours on his phone, watching other people live the lives he wished he had. He binge-watched shows he'd forget in a week. He waited for motivation to strike him like lightning. He told himself he was tired. He told himself he deserved rest. And time, that silent thief, kept stealing from him. One Thursday evening, Daniel sat in his cramped apartment staring at his laptop screen. He had opened a blank document 3 hours ago. The cursor blinked at him, mocking him. He wanted to write, he really did, but his mind felt foggy, his body felt heavy. So he closed the laptop and turned on the TV instead. Another night wasted, another dream delayed. But that night, something changed. Daniel's father called. His voice was shaking. His mother had collapsed, heart attack. She was in the hospital. Daniel's world stopped. He rushed to the hospital, his heart pounding, his mind racing with regret. All those moments he could have spent with her, all those calls he ignored because he was busy doing nothing, all that time he thought he had. She survived, barely, and as Daniel sat beside her hospital bed holding her frail hand, she looked at him with tired eyes and whispered, "Don't wait, Daniel. Don't wait like I did. I always said I'd paint again. I always said I'd visit the ocean one more time. I thought I had time." Her voice cracked. "Time is the one thing you think you have until you don't." Those words hit him like a punch to the chest. He looked at his mother, a woman who had spent her whole life planning for tomorrow, and realized he was doing the exact same thing. He was living like he was immortal, like his dreams could wait, like time was infinite. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling, and for the first time in years, he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Fear. Real, raw fear. Not of failure, not of judgment, but of reaching the end of his life and realizing he never truly lived it. Of becoming an old man filled with regrets, sitting in a chair, whispering to himself, "I wish I had." The next morning, Daniel woke up different. He didn't feel motivated. He didn't feel inspired. He felt angry. Angry at himself for wasting so much time. Angry at the lies he had told himself. Angry at the comfort that had quietly destroyed his potential. And he made a decision. A real one. Not the kind you make on New Year's Eve and forget by February. The kind that changes everything. He opened his laptop. He didn't wait for the perfect moment. He didn't wait to feel ready. He just started. One word, then another, then another. The first page was terrible. The second was worse. But he kept going because he realized something powerful. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. It requires showing up even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Daniel stopped scrolling mindlessly. He stopped binge-watching shows that numbed his brain. He stopped waiting for motivation. He built discipline instead. He woke up an hour earlier. He wrote every single day, even when the words felt like pulling teeth. He stopped saying, "I don't have time," and started saying, "This is my priority." And slowly, something miraculous happened. The book he thought would take years, he finished it in 8 months. The side business he always dreamed about, he launched it. The relationships he had neglected, he rebuilt them. Not because he suddenly had more time, but because he stopped treating time like it was unlimited. Daniel learned the secret that most people die without ever understanding. Time is not your enemy. Distraction is. Procrastination is. Comfort is. You don't need more time. You need more focus. You need to stop lying to yourself about what matters. You need to stop waiting for the right moment, because that moment is now. It's always now. 1 year later, Daniel stood in a bookstore holding his published book. Tears filled his eyes. Not because the book was perfect, it wasn't. Not because he was suddenly rich and famous, he wasn't. But because he had done it. He had stopped waiting. He had stopped wasting. He had finally respected the one resource that could never be replaced: time. He thought about all the people who were still where he used to be, still scrolling, still waiting, still telling themselves they'll start tomorrow. And he wanted to scream at them. He wanted to shake them and say, "Wake up. Your life is happening right now. Not next year, not when you're ready, right now." Because here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You think you have time, but you don't. You think tomorrow is guaranteed, but it's not. You think you'll feel ready someday, but you won't. Readiness is a myth. Clarity is a myth. The perfect moment is a myth. The only thing that's real is this moment and what you do with it. Every day you wake up, you're given 86,400 seconds. That's it. You can't save them, you can't store them, you can't get them back. You either use them or you lose them. And most people lose them. They lose them to distractions that don't matter, to people who don't care, to comfort that slowly kills their potential. You know what the saddest part is? It's not that people fail. It's that people never try. They die with their dreams still inside them. They die with their books unwritten, their businesses unlaunched, their voices unheard. They die saying, "I wish I had." And that's the most painful sentence in the human language. Daniel understood this now. He understood that time is not about hours on a clock. It's about the choices you make in those hours. It's about whether you choose growth or comfort, whether you choose action or distraction, whether you choose to become who you're meant to be or stay who you've always been. And the most powerful realization of all, it's never too late. As long as you're breathing, you have time. Not infinite time, but enough time. Enough to start, enough to try, enough to change, but only if you stop wasting it on things that don't matter. So ask yourself this: if you knew you only had 1 year left, what would you do differently? Who would you call? What would you create? What would you finally start? Now ask yourself why you're not doing that right now. What's stopping you? Fear? Comfort? The illusion that you have more time? Because you don't. None of us do. Time is the great equalizer. It doesn't care if you're rich or poor, young or old, talented or average. It runs out for everyone. The only difference between people who live with regret and people who live with fulfillment is how they use it. Daniel learned this the hard way, but he learned it in time. The question is, will you? Or will you keep pretending that tomorrow is guaranteed, that time is infinite, that you'll get another chance? Because you won't. This is it. This is your life, right now, and it's slipping away faster than you think. So stop wasting it and start living it before it's too late.